Hello everyone, I hope you are healthy and well. My name is Guangyu and I'm a PhD candidate at McGill University. In today's talk, I'm going to introduce our recent progress on tissue adhesives design for vocal fold closure. Microflaps are frequently used in vocal fold surgery to remove benign vocal fold lesions. After the surgery, it is important to choose the appropriate closure techniques to minimize the risks of re-injury or scar formation. There are three options for the microflap closure. The first one is rely on the natural healing ability of the patients, but it is not suitable for large wounds. The second one is to use sutures, but sutures are very stiff and non-stretchable. It might cause secondary trauma to the wounds. The third method is to use tissue adhesives. Adhesive can be less traumatic compared to the sutures. When we choose a design and adhesive for vocal fold, we need to make sure that the adhesive needed to be biocompatible. It should have similar mechanical properties as the native tissues. The fracture toughness and the adhesion energy need to be at least comparable to the toughness of vocal fold. And the adhesive itself need to withstand impact stress during the formation. Our lab has previously evaluated the adhesion performance of three types of commercially available tissue adhesives on porcine vocal fold. We tested Glue brand 2, BioGlue, and TCL, those three brands. Each represents a different adhesive type. Cyanoacrylate-based Glue brand 2 achieved the highest adhesion strength, and the fibrin-based TCL provided the lowest adhesion strength among those three. However, when you look at the biocompatibility result, TCL is the most biocompatible product, while the Glue brand 2 are highly toxic to vocal fold fibroblasts. So there is a clear trade-off between the adhesion performance and biocompatibility. When you take other considerations into account, like the mechanical properties, the usage condition, and the pricing, you will notice that all those three types of adhesives are far from ideal. It is critically needed to develop a biocompatible adhesive with tissue-like properties and strong adhesion. Hydrogels are soft and biocompatible and are widely used as wound healing dressings. However, adhere hydrogel to tissue is difficult. To overcome this challenge, our lab previously have developed a strategy relying on two key points. One is to use the biocompatible adhesive reagent to form covalent bonds between the hydrogel and the tissue. And the other one is to increase the the energy dissipation inside the hydrogel. To form covalent bond, the Adhesion and EDC can be used as the adhesive reagents. The amine groups at Adhesion can form covalent bonds with the carboxylic acid groups on the tissue surface under carbodiamide chemistry. To increase the background hysteresis, a double network hydrogel comprised of covalent network and an ionic network can be used. This type of hydrogels are good at the energy dissipation and are extremely tough. This strategy can provide a strong and tough adhesion between hydrogels and tissues, but it requires the hydrogel to fully contact the wound, so applying pressure is needed to squeeze out the interfacial fluids, and also it takes about 5 minutes before the hydrogel can adhere to the tissues. In this project, we propose a porous tough hydrogel adhesive design to minimize the needed pressure during the use and to accelerate the adhesion formation. We first fabricate a double network hydrogel made of chitosan and polyacrylamide. We then use freeze drying to create porous structure inside the hydrogel, as you can see from the SEM image. The hydrogel patch can effectively dissipate the energy under deformation. We then partially fill the pores with the adhesive reagent solution, which is composed of chitosan, EDC, and NHS. We purposely left some of the pores unfilled, so the adhesive patch is still partially dry. In the fluorescent image, the red signal is the porous hydrogel and the green signal is the adhesive reagents. When this hydrogel patch is put on top of the hydrated vocal fold tissues, the open pore inside the adhesive can uptake the interstitial fluid and form an instant dry adhesion with the tissue. After that, with slight or even no pressure, it will release the adhesion reagents in the to the interface and to bond with the vocal fold tissues. We first characterize the mechanical properties. Our porous adhesive is highly stretchable. It can be stretched for over 10 times of its original length without rupture, even with the presence of huge crack. Our porous adhesive has a much higher toughness compared to the porcelain vocal fold tissues. It means that assuming that the adhesion is good, our adhesive will not fail before the vocal fold ruptures in some extreme cases. And when you look at the cyclic loading and unloading curves, you can see that the stiffness of our adhesive is within 30 to 40 kilopascal. It is significantly softer compared to the sutures and the cyanoacrylic adhesives. Because this measurement is conducted at 25% of liquid filling ratio, which means it still has plenty of room to absorb the tissue fluid. We expect this stiffness to be even lower when the porous adhesives are saturated with water, and we can further tune the stiffness by controlling the cross-linking density and polymer concentrations. We use the tension test and the slab shear test to measure the tensile and shear strength of our adhesives to lamina propria. Fresh porcine larynges were obtained from a local slaughterhouse. For each test, we first mounted the lamina propria to a dominant bar and the porous adhesive to another bar using the superglue. After that, we brought the tissues and adhesives into contact for 5 and 16 minutes before the testing. We repeated the test for 15 times for each condition to get the mean values. We compared the adhesive strength of our porous adhesive with the commercial products. As you can see from the tensile strength, the adhesive strength after 5 minutes is already comparable to the glue brand 2. The adhesion strength at 60 minutes are continually growing to reach about 95 kilopascal and significantly higher than that of the 3 commercial products. And similarly, for shear strength, our porous adhesive also achieved high adhesive strength comparable to that of the glue brand 2. It is 1.7 times stronger than the bi-glue and 5 times stronger than the TCL. Let's look at the failure mode of the commercial products. For TCL, although it can form covalent bonding with the tissue, due to the weak and brittle fiber network, the adhesive itself rupture before the interfacial debonding. For bi-glue, both of the adhesion failure and the cohesive failure of the lamina propria were noticed during the test, which means that the adhesion strength of this product is similar to the toughness of the vocal fold. When we look at the glue brand 2, it was mainly the cohesive failure of the vocal fold. Although the glue brand 2 showed great adhesion, it is stiff and also cytotoxic to the vocal fold, which are big concerns. And when we look at the images of the adhesion between our porous adhesive to the vocal fold, you can see that the adhesion is strong and tough before the failure occurs. The deformation mainly comes from the stretching of the adhesive itself. And when we also have observed that both mixed failure and cohesive failure of the vocal fold happened, which means our adhesive can provide enough adhesion at least comparable to the toughness of the vocal fold tissues. Our adhesive can also show a better performance comparing to the glue brand 2. When we look at the cytocompatibility data, our adhesives is biocompatible to human vocal fold fibroblasts, similar to TCL. I need to mention that we haven't finished the complete biocompatibility evaluation yet due to the COVID situation. The image showing here is the cytocompatibility of our adhesives before the freeze drying. However, we believe that the freeze drying procedure will not change the cytocompatibility of our adhesives. So we expect that our porous adhesive can provide a high biocompatibility similar to the result in here. So in summary, we have developed a hydrogel-based porous adhesive patch for vocal fold closure. Our adhesive can form rapid adhesion with hydrated vocal fold tissues. The adhesion performance on lamina propria is also stronger compared to the strongest commercial products right now. At the same time, it overcomes the trade-off between the adhesion performance and the biocompatibility. We hope our progress in this area would bring this next generation tissue adhesive technology from bench to bedside. And finally, I would like to thank everyone from Mongeau Lab and the Li Lab for their help. We would like to thank Professor Xinxiao Jia, Professor Susan Thibault, and Professor Christian Kastrup for their collaboration. We would also like to thank our funding agency, National Institute of Health, CFI, and the New Frontiers for funding this project. And thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you stay safe and have a wonderful day.